episode 16 of the Coffee and Crochet podcast. I'm so excited to be here with you. It's February. We're getting ready for Valentine's Day. All of the new things happening with the new month. And if you didn't already get my newsletter, make sure you are subscribed to my newsletter. The link is in the show notes. It's been a crazy few weeks here in the studio. Last week I did an interview. If you didn't get to watch that, I'll put the link in the show notes as well. But I did an interview rather than a podcast. And I have a whole lot of things happening this coming month. For those of you who celebrate, Lent is next week. It's also Valentine's Day. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing as far as Valentine's Day is concerned, but Lent starts, and with Lent, for me anyway, I tend to shut down all of my social media. Not so much that you can't follow me and that I won't be posting, but I won't be scrolling in social media. So first of all, that does not apply to YouTube because YouTube is kind of where I connect with all of you guys. So my podcast is going to continue. I will be interacting with you in the comments here and in the community when I post something in the community part. So that's not going to go away, but Facebook and Instagram are going to go away as far as me scrolling and commenting and interacting. Social media, and I have I don't know what to call it other than a love-hate relationship. You've probably heard me talk about that before. And I'm trying to do some new things in the studio and rebranding a few things that are going to be coming up, hopefully starting in April. So be watching for that. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my newsletter, make sure you subscribe to that. I already said that once, but I want to make sure I say it again because that's not going away either. That is where you're going to hear about all the things. So make sure you check that out. So let's get started. And I'm going to start with what my projects are. Okay, so my first project is something that you hadn't seen before, but I have mentioned that my daughter's best friend is due with a baby, and I realized that she's due in a little over a month, and I needed to get something done for her. So I ordered some yarn from Yarnspirations, some Red Heart yarn, and it was weird because when I got the yarn, one of the colors, I ordered two skeins of the Red Heart Super Saver, and they were different dye lots, and normally that's not a big deal with Red Heart, but in this case, one was so much lighter than the other. So I had to run to Michael's. They didn't have that colorway at Michael's, so I got another one from them that was loops and threads. I think that's what they call it, the Michael's brand, whatever the Michael's brand is. And I started a blanket. I'm almost done, but let me open it up. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen a little bit of it. I'm working it this direction. But I'm actually gonna have it go in stripes in this direction. So I am using Red Heart Super Saver for the green, and then the creamy white and the oatmeal color are both loops and threads, because the creamy white that I thought I ordered from Yarnspirations wasn't a creamy white. It was kind of a yellow white. So both of those are going back to Red Heart. And I got these yarns and I've got about 12 times 4, so 48 more rows to go to finish the center panel. And then I'm going to be edging it with the creamy white and a stripe of each, the sage green and the, oatmeal color. So this is the colors I picked. I am designing a new pattern with this, so this is going to be a pattern hopefully I will be releasing sometime either later this year or sometime next year for sure. I'm going to be working on another one after this is done later this year. I actually might design it with colors for my niece who is also due in March. She's due sooner in March, and so I'm going to get hers done as quickly as I can too. I haven't decided on her colors. They're both having boys, so I'm going to try to do something a little bit different because my niece, this is her third child and a third boy. So I want to make sure that I pick a color that's different than what I did for her previous two. So that's that blanket. That's what I'm working on. That should be finished this week. No problem. The other thing I mentioned before, I'm going to move some things off the top of it. I've shown you this before. I haven't done a whole lot more since you saw it last, but this is my sock. This is a sock. The pattern is the mermaid. I can't remember the whole thing, but it's basically a mermaid style, and it's knit. And you can see here that I've got almost all of the cuff or the leg done. I haven't decided. This is 3 inches, and I haven't decided if I want to go to the full 5 or if I want to leave it at 3 and turn the heel. That's kind of why I haven't done much with it, honestly. I can't decide what to do, but I really love how those scales are turning out. So I hope you guys like that. That's kind of cool. The yarn is no longer being dyed. It's by October Fiber Arts, I think, or October House Fiber Arts. She's no longer dyeing, as far as I know. I haven't checked, but she did say she was quitting a few years ago. I kept this skein because I love the colorway. It's called Succulent. And I wanted to make socks with it, but I don't know when they'll be done. So this is kind of a project that I'm doing when I need a small project to take with me somewhere, or in between projects, I just want to do something different. So that's the second project I want to show you. And then today I remembered to bring my, I was able to bring my cross stitch. It's a couple weeks past last time I showed it to you. I just got yesterday's pattern downloaded. I haven't started working on it yet. Yesterday was a weird day, so I didn't get to do that, but I'm going to start it tonight. But here is what, oops, I've got it. The needle is holding it all together. But here is what it looks like now. I've got the first 5 blocks done. Can you guys see that? There we go. So there are the first 5 blocks. Number 6 is going to go down here in this one. And like I said, I'm going to be starting on that today. I'm having so much fun with this one. And it's funny too, because we started watching the Gilmore Girls because my husband had never seen really the whole thing. And he is not getting any of these, Gilmore-isms that are on here. So we started watching it. He's actually enjoying it. So it's kind of funny. But those are my projects for right now. I'm going to show you a project I'm going to be working on next, which is in my What's New in the Studio. Okay, so first of all, before I get to a new project that I'm going to be starting here really quick, I do want to mention, first of all, that I am still working on the cardigan that I showed you last time. That's not going away. Like I said, I've had a couple weird things happening in the last couple weeks. I haven't been able to pick that one back up. And I need to get this blanket done for my daughter's best friend. So that's got to get done. But that will be picked up probably next week. So that's that. But what's new in the studio? If you didn't watch it last week, I did an unboxing of a bunch of yarns from Knitting Fever. So those are all new, and I'm not going to re-show them here today, but I will put a link in the show notes to the unboxing video so you guys can watch it. I'm figuring a lot of you have already watched it because I noticed the numbers are going up, but if you haven't, I'll make sure that the link is right there. But I also wanted to show you this new yarn I got from Knitty McPurly. This is her Athens Alpaca Non-Superwash Sport base. Now that name might sound familiar because earlier or before the new year, I had gotten this set, which is a bunch of minis in the same base, but it's all mini skeins. And this was a Christmas thing, and I told you I had an idea for this. Well, that's what this is part of. So this is her new colorway as of January. It's a permanent color that she's using, and it's called Jovis, Jovis, which I like because it's Jovi, and everybody knows I'm a big Bon Jovi fan. But Jovis is the name of this. It's a creamy, creamy white. Hopefully you guys can see how creamy that is. It's so soft. It's alpaca, and you guys know I've never met an alpaca I didn't like. But I wanted a base color to go with all of these, and even though there is a creamy white in here, which I'm pretty sure is the precursor to Jovis. It's not enough for what I'm planning for this. So I ordered that and I'm really excited to get started on that. I probably won't be getting started on this until summer, but I wanted to get the yarn so I had it. And then when I start the project, it's ready to go. Okay, so now let's talk about the other yarn that I bought. My birthday, obviously you guys knew, was January 1st. And one of the things my local yarn shop does is she gives you a 20% discount coupon on an order or a purchase in her shop for your birthday. So I knew I wanted to make the Audrey sweater, which is also by Knitty McPurly, but that's a sweater I have been looking at for years since she released it. And I decided I want to do that. So I'm going to put a picture right here for you of that sweater. But I bought, this is from Skacel. It's the Haiku Sueno Worsted. And you guys know I love blue. So this is the color. And Sueno Worsted is a yarn that I've used before. Actually, I've used their DK weight, I should say. But Sueno is one of my favorite yarns from Haiku. And this is 80% merino superwash, 20% viscose from bamboo. It's 100 grams and it's got 182 yards per hank. I have 11 hanks of this to make a sweater. Now, as you can see from the picture that I posted, the sweater is cropped in the picture. I'm going to make it a little longer, even though I am losing weight, and I'll talk about that in just a sec. But the sweater, I don't like crop sweaters on me because I'm very short-waisted. So I'm going to make it probably more of a standard length, maybe add 5 or 6 inches just so that it hits me in the hip area. But this is the color, and that's why I have so many hanks of this, is because I wasn't sure how many I was going to need to make the extra inches in the hip area. So I added 2 hanks from what was required. And what's really cool about my yarn shop is that if you don't use all of the yarn you bought, as long as you didn't skein it and you leave it in the hanks, she'll take it back. So I am going to be casting that on, I'm hoping this weekend. I just want to have another project beside the socks that I'm working on that, is a TV project, because a lot of times when I'm designing, I can't work well on something that I'm designing because I'm thinking about it. This is going to be pure stockinette for the most part, except for all the ribbing on the neckline, cuffs, and bottom edge. And it's a top-down sweater, so I'm going to be doing miles of stockinette. And so I'm going to make sure that that's a project that I can do when I'm not doing anything else and that I don't have to think about it. So those are my projects. So let's go on. Oh, I mentioned I'm losing weight. So I told you guys I'd keep you guys informed a little bit. As of Sunday, because I weigh myself on Saturdays or Sundays, depending on when I remember or not. But I've lost 24 pounds. I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited. I'm sticking to my diet. I'm going to the gym yesterday. I had a really hard workout. So if you notice my arms are kind of not moving like they usually do, that is because I'm a little sore today. But I'm doing great on that area of my life. So losing 24 pounds since November 6th. November 6th is when I had the big scare and I just stopped eating the stuff that I knew was bad for me. So I'm really excited. I've got about 30% of my body weight off, 31.5% I think is what I calculated. So I'm really excited. So that is, and I'm actually excited because this is going to be a smaller size than I thought it was going to be. I'm making it in a size that I can still wear it now, but as I lose some weight, it'll continue to look okay with how it looks on me. And if it ever gets to the point where it's too big, I may rip it out and rework it in a smaller size. So there you go. That's the cool thing about knitting, is that if you know where to pull your ends out, you can always start again, as long as you've got a yarn that doesn't pill that much. And I know this one does not pill at all. So there you go. Okay, so let's talk about topic of the week. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to back up. You really can't see it that much. This is a t-shirt I had made. It's called, and it says Crochet in 60 Seconds. And I don't know if you guys have seen on Instagram or on Facebook a page called Crochet in 60 Seconds with this logo. I also am going to have a YouTube channel with this. I already have all 3 of those set up. It is going to be a new learning channel that I'm going to be doing. I'm not sure how I'm going to use it on Facebook and Instagram quite yet, but I wanted to hold on to the name in both places. But on YouTube, it's its own channel. I don't think you can get to it right now. I mean, I can see it because I'm the person who owns it, but I think you guys can't see it until I put my first video up. And that's one of the things I'm going to be doing this Lent, is going to be recording a bunch of crochet videos. And Crochet in 60 Seconds is exactly what it sounds like. I'm going to teach you something in crochet, or I'm going to give you a tip on a product or something else in 60 seconds. So they're all going to be shorts. The video format, the short, the long video, 60 seconds. That is why I called it Crochet in 60 Seconds. What I'm noticing with people is attention spans, especially the younger generation. Their attention spans are about 60 seconds. They love shorts, they love reels, they love stories in Instagram, that kind of thing. And I have a lot of knowledge, and I get asked a lot of questions. And if I can condense some of this down into 60 seconds, that is a quick, how to use a stitch marker, how to make the ends of your rows not be so loopy, all that kind of stuff, how to change colors, all of that in 60 seconds. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to be recording a lot of those this Lent. I've got a list already of about 30 or so. And what my goal is to post 2 a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you're interested in that and would like to do some of that stuff, make sure you go to Instagram and to Facebook and search for Crochet in 60 Seconds. Look for this logo, because this is the logo, and subscribe, because as soon as that goes live, I will be announcing on both of those channels, on Facebook and Instagram, and then I will also let you guys know here. I'll probably do it in the community that I've posted the first video, so that you guys can go and like and subscribe to that channel as well. Now, this channel is going through some changes. The podcast is not going away. That's going to remain. I am changing up some things in my business. I'm rebranding a few things. Because of how COVID has changed the landscape of teaching classes, I'm thinking through all of that. So this Lent, that's a huge thing I'm going to be doing. This Lent is working on all of that stuff too. Since I am not going to be active on social media like I've been, other than doing these videos and what I call my newsletter kind of a social media type of thing, because I'm connecting with all of you. But those are the 2 things I'm going to be working on, and I'm going to be working on all these videos. So stay tuned, keep watching, and that's kind of it for the topic. But if you have any questions, or if you have any topics that you'd like to see me cover in 60 seconds, just leave me a comment in the notes below, below this video. I'd love to know what kinds of things you'd like to learn about. I have had in the past a form that you could fill out to give me ideas, but that seems like not a lot of people like to do filling out forms. So leave me a comment if there's a topic you'd like to see me cover. Now, if it's something that I can do in 60 seconds, I'll probably do it over on that other channel. If it's something that is needs a little more substance, I'll probably do it here in the podcast. So please leave me comments and let me know what you think. So let's move on to comments. Now I'm going to pull up my comments here. There we go. So last week I didn't do a show, obviously, but I did do the live stream, and I had a few comments. A couple people commented that they loved looking at Alyssa's website, and they love the idea of acrylic sock, acrylic in that yarn that was indie dyed. Gosh, I can't talk this morning. So a lot of people were really excited about that. And one person, Judy's Creations and Crochet, posted that she was so glad to see that I was doing interviews again. And I'm going to try to do them every other month. So I'm thinking March will be my next one. It might not be till April because I have Lent and trying to figure out the things that I'm figuring out. But I wanted to let you guys know that I am going to try to start doing those a little bit more regularly. And then I had Deborah Wortman post on my unboxing. She said, "Great video, Karen. Thank you for sharing those beautiful KFI yarns. When I retired from nursing, I worked a few years in my local yarn shop, which was owned by a friend. While there, I met many yarn company reps, but my favorite was from KFI. He always left me with a pile of different yarn samples to play with. Needless to say, I had a lot of fun playing." Yeah, and KFI is really good at that, especially for people who work in shops and are designers. They're very generous with giving us yarns to play with, because they want to sell yarn. So by giving designers, samples to swatch with, and then eventually, if there's several of those yarns that I unboxed that I have ideas for already, and when I get those patterns done, they will promote for me. So I love working with KFI. So if you have never used a KFI yarn, they're like, let's see, there's Noro, there's Ella Ray, there's Juniper Moon Farms, there's Lanes du Nord, there's Jody, what's his name? Jody Long. I got some of his yarns. I don't know why I blanked out. That was weird. Jody Long is someone who works with them. They used to have a brand that was, now I can't think of the name, but Baby Cash Merino, and they have renamed that into an Ella Ray yarn that I use. In fact, I'm going to be doing an online class with the yarns I have from that line, so you'll be seeing that as well. So KFI has a lot of brands. They're a distributor, and they distribute a lot of brands. Let's put it that way. Most people know them as Knitting Fever, because they do have their own line of novelty yarns. Mostly. They do have some alpacas that are really nice, that are in their own name, Knitting Fever or KFI yarns kind of thing. Or Euro Baby is their own line as far as I know. I could be wrong. But anyway, check them out. If you like Noro, you're using a KFI yarn. So, okay, so let's see. Oh, and then in the previous video, I talked about the bamboo yarns, and I haven't started that yet. That's going to happen too as soon as I finish my sweater. That's why I'm saying next week I'll probably start working on the sweater again, and then hopefully the following week I will have the sweater pieces all on the blocking board so I can start that bamboo shawl. And a lot of people are going with blue in the center and gold on the bottom. I'm still asking those people who have weighed in on that. I'm going to tally them all up. I haven't tallied them up to see where we're at. Last I looked, it was still a tie, so I was going to have to break that tie. So hopefully by next week or the following week, I'll have made a decision on whether it's going to go raspberry blue gold, or if it's going to go raspberry gold blue. So stay tuned for that. Let me just make sure I've answered. Oh, a lot of people were asking about, or Carlene had mentioned that the previous video had a lot of videos. And yeah, but we were down to 2 choices, so that's why last time I had another vote. Oh, and then Brat's mom, 6749. Hi, Linda. She mentioned that she never responded about my question about Brat, which was her cat. She left for the Rainbow Bridge in August of 2021, and she adopted Daisy about 1.5 weeks after. So she didn't stay very long without a cat, which is amazing, because for me, I would be mourning a whole lot more before I got a new cat. But I think that's awesome. And Daisy is such a cute cat and such a fun cat. So that was from Linda. I just want to see what else I have here. Okay, so Frances says, yes, I have Good morning. Yes, I have a comment, as I usually watch at 6 a.m. Thursday morning New Zealand time when I appear on YouTube. And often no one has posted yet. I would feel terrible if you had no comments for next week's show. And she is in New Zealand, so she's always about not quite 24 hours ahead of me. So I post the video at 9 a.m. That's usually between 4, I think it's 4 o'clock, her time in New Zealand time, the following day. So I post it on Wednesday, Thursday morning. So she always watches after I get it posted. Let's see, I think that's it on the comments. So I'm going to go ahead and end now so that you guys can go back to your day, and hopefully I will have some new things to show you next week. I know I will have some new things to show you next week. Hopefully that blanket will be done and it'll be in a spot that I can actually show it to you. And if I've already shipped it, I'll make sure I take a picture, because taking a picture is something that I'm going to need to be able to redo that pattern properly. So I will at least have a picture of it completed for you. And hopefully I'll have my sweater started by then and a whole lot more. So thank you guys for being here. Thanks. Have a great week. And I will see you next time. Blessings all around. Love you all and talk to you soon. Bye now.